Today, we're going to discuss the history of comedy roasts, from their inception to Underground to Comedy Central to OnlyFans. Welcome to Catching You Up with
Nadav.
I don't know if you could tell, but we're down a ring light. And in true Hydra fashion, I've already ordered 3 more to take its place. I'd like to take this moment to thank the executive producer of this episode, Average Ed. Without the big baller support of Average Ed, I'd be sucking the genitals of peoples whose gender I'm not sexually attracted to. If you'd like to become a producer of this show, you could go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description below. Now would be a good time to comment on this video, subscribe to this channel, share this video with a friend, rate it, all that good stuff. It all helps with the algorithm. Now I'll say this. I remember the first roast I ever saw. It was the roast of Flavor Flav on Comedy Central.
Roasting Flavor Flav. You had your own show, The Flavor of Love, which I didn't know syphilis had a flavor. I had no idea.
I didn't really comprehend what a roast was, but right out the gate, I saw very quickly I was not fucking ready for it.
Carrot Top. I used to think they called you Carrot Top because of your red hair. Now I know it's because everyone would love to see you buried up to your forehead in dirt.
Sure, I said a lot of 4-letter words with my friends at school, but I've never heard this kind of creativity or racism used to insult anyone before.
Lisa Lampanelli, what can you say about her, the queen of mean? I just want to explain to you, Lisa, that the only reason that black men f*** you is so they can feel like they beat up a white man and got away with it.
I felt like I was watching MTV Spring Break for the first time. I was just constantly looking over my shoulder to make sure my mom wasn't going to come into the room, and I just honestly felt like this stuff shouldn't be allowed on television. The shit that they were saying to Flavor Flav was absolutely insane.
I've never roasted an oily cadaver before. You're like a turd with teeth. Look at yourself.
Anthony Jeselnik and Amy Schumer got on my radar from those. Greg Giraldo solidified his god-tier status. And although I'd consider this the golden era of comedy roasts, there were a bunch of stuff that came before it and a whole bunch of stuff that came after it. You may have heard about the New York Friars Club. According to Wikipedia, it's a private club that was founded in 1904 and consisted mainly of people that worked in the entertainment industry. Its origins claim its roots in 1904, when the Press Agents Association started to share information on which people were fraudulently getting extra free passes that they shouldn't be getting. I love that that was the literal reason that this started. These same fuckers keep fucking us out of tickets. Fuck that, fuck them, let's fucking talk about it. What the fuck are you doing Thursday? Meet me at Brown's Chop House. From there, the meetings opened up and began to include tribute dinners. The first being in 1908 for Clyde Fitch, who happened to be the most popular writer on Broadway at the time. They started hosting Friar's Frolics with guests of honor that were set and teased. That then evolved to a more traditional style of roasts, where the guest of honor was able to pick their roast master. It started as a men-only event. Even the waitstaff was told to exit the room. These frolics were able to raise so much money that eventually they were able to buy a physical location in New York. This is now dubbed the Monastery. I'm seeing conflicting information on what was officially the first roast of the Friars Club, but it either started in 1949 with French entertainer Maurice Chevalier, or in 1950 with Sam Levinson and comedian friend Joe E. Lewis. And since that's in Wikipedia, let's just go ahead with that. By the late 60s, the Friars Roast were being televised as part of the Kraft Music Hall series. Richard Pryor even had one in 1977 with the cast of The Richard Pryor Show, and it was absolutely ridiculous.
Pa was with me once when I first fucked my first and he's been holding that over my head for 2 years. I fucked a I just want to say it now so nobody else can tell.
From 1977, some time had passed, but eventually Comedy Central decided to televise 5 of the Friars Club's roasts. In 1998, they released Drew Carey with Roastmaster Ryan Stiles. They broadcasted Jerry Stiller's roast in '99 with Roastmaster Jason Alexander. They televised Rob Reiner in 2000 with Roastmaster Michael McKeon. Hugh Hefner was in 2001 with Jimmy Kimmel as the Roastmaster. And Chevy Chase in 2002 with Roastmaster Paul Schaefer. After the 5-year contract, Comedy Central took the IP and decided to do their own roasts in their own way, which happened to be pretty similar to the way the Friars Club did it. The first roast they did was for Dennis Leary, which ended up being the most viewed thing ever televised on Comedy Central outside of a couple episodes of South Park. After him, it was Jeff Foxworthy, Pam Anderson, William Shatner, which was nominated for an Emmy, Flavor Flav, Bob Saget, Joan Rivers, David Hasselhoff, and Donald fucking Trump. We saw stars emerge from the roasts, but one thing that I looked forward to with every roast that I saw was seeing Greg Giraldo's set.
Courtney, what the hell happened to you? You had a great band, you're a very talented actress, and your career dried up faster than Sarah Silverman's pussy around guys who can't help her in the business.
Greg Giraldo was possibly the best to have ever done it, ever do it, and to ever will do it. to ever that will ever do it.
Gary Busey's here, kind of. Yeah! Gary, I guess, flew in from Lobotomy Island. You look like Nick Nolte fucked a Clydesdale.
Comedy Central continued to air roasts until 2019, with Alec Baldwin being the last one that they'd broadcast. Lest we forget Jeff Ross hosting a whole bunch of roast-related shows. There was also Lisa Lampanelli, Whitney Cummings, Tony Hinchcliffe and Sarah Tiano were known for contributing a lot to the roasts. There was Anthony Jeselnik, Nikki Glazer, Patrice O'Neill, and so many more. Jeff Ross would always say, you only roast the ones that you love. And I believed him, but the way that comics go in on each other, they go for the throat.
It's good to see Comedy Central diversifying its talent with whatever race Pete Davidson is. You just look real, you're just real vague, man. You have a weird, vague-ass face, and I don't like it. I don't like your face at all. You seem like a nice person, but when I talk to you, I don't have fun.
And although it was an incredible run, it really saddens me that the last roast that Comedy Central did was in 2019. But I think a lot of variables can be attributed to that factor. COVID, changing of the guards of the executives at Comedy Central. So what happened to roasts since 2019? There was still a demand for it, but supply was dwindling. You start getting fun shows like Roast Battle, hosted by Brian Moses, and I believe Luis J. Gomez had a stint hosting a show like that, where they would just pit two comics against each other and take each other down with a panel of celebrity judges. Some roasts were done and just posted to YouTube, like the roast of Rich Voss or the roast of Luis J. Gomez, which was recorded at Skankfest a couple years ago. And by the way, Shane Gillis' set is one of the most vicious sets I've ever heard at a roast.
I don't have much, because this is gay.
Here are some of my favorite, meanest parts of that set.
Natalie Cuomo is so unfunny, Lewis booked him. Ari's yoga videos suck and are gay. Tony also, I believe, had a Corvette with a license plate that said, I roast. I can't believe people are calling this guy gay, dude. That's cool. As Bobby gets fatter, he gets less successful. Take note, Kim.
Oh my God. The most recent evolution I've seen is Whitney Cummings taking roasts into the OnlyFans space. She came up in the world of stand-up and television at the same time, and she's able to combine skills from both worlds to pitch the roast of Bert Kreischer, the roast of Whitney Cummings, and then also produce her own special for OnlyFans TV. Is there more in the works? I certainly wouldn't be surprised. So from where I'm standing, I see roasts taking one of two directions. People will either continue trying to produce roasts and selling them to platforms like OnlyFans or other ones. What if Jeff Ross produced 2 or 3 comedy roasts a year and streamed it to Netflix? Holy shit, I'd be fucking excited for that. Or comedians are going to self-produce their own roasts and upload them to YouTube, kind of like how we're seeing with comedy specials. Do you think it's gonna go one of those two ways? Is it gonna go a third way I didn't mention because I'm a dumb fucking idiot that has a different brain than you? Maybe. But it's not even a question of what format are these roasts gonna be in? Who are these roasts gonna be about? Who would I like to see? Joe Rogan, Ali Wong, Pete Davidson, Marky Mark, Amy Schumer, The Rock, Lizzo, Bill Burr, and why the fuck not Tucker Carlson? Fuck. Another episode down. That was fast. I'd also like to thank everyone whose names you're seeing on the screen right now. They're all producers of the show via supporting me on my Patreon page. If you want to support this show, you can go ahead and click the link in the description below. I'd also like to remind you to subscribe right now to this channel, comment on this video, and share it with a friend. God damn, it helps the algorithm. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Catching You Up with
Nadav. It's COVID.
But just remember,
this is a totally unconfirmed news.